Oh, you like it? Thanks, Rex. Hey, Born, how are you doing tonight? I'm just trying to get back into actually learning how to do art again, I guess. You would think I would do it more often, but since that's what I did in community college, but whatever. Dinner at 10:30, at least for me anyway. That's so early to have dinner. I normally eat at like 1 a.m. Probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but you know. I'm here to have a good time, not to be here long, so. Oh, it's only 9:40 for you? Okay. Right, I think you said before that you live in Central Time. Oh, okay. Uh, okay. I should probably have dinner at some point today, but I'm lazy. I'll probably like eat something after the stream. I think all I've had in like the past uh 8 hours is like an apple. But hey, I like apples, so it's fine. Okay. Ah. What am I drawing? Is it furry? Well, of course it is. I'm predictable. I'm making a digital version of this drawing I did of Chase and Leo. Because, you know, I have zero restraint. Zero restraint at all. Yeah. People always tell me, like, how can you like Leo? He's a terrible person. And I'm like, I don't know. He makes me happy, that's why. I don't think I need a more complicated reason. Okay. Leo is best boy. It's true. Like, I looked at that. Well, when I played, I ended up playing Route 65 first because I didn't know which one I was supposed to play first, so I ended up just playing 65 first because I was like, oh, Chase is a teenager here. I guess I should play this one first. And, like, that whole scene at the train tracks, I was like, oh no. Oh no. I am definitely here for Leo 100%. That's just what happened. I mean, that whole scene where, like, Chase and Leo became boyfriends, I was like, I'm here for this. And God, I wish that were me. But, yeah. Okay. Man, you would think with, like, a certification or two and, like, an art certificate and shit, I would be, like, doing more. But instead I just sat around and did nothing. Unlike my classmates who went off and did, like, got real jobs. Or are actually doing art things. I don't know. Last time I checked out up on some people, they were like, oh yeah, I live off commissions now. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? I don't know. I, like, thought about going back to school, and then, like, the pandemic happened, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And then I started this channel, so, like, I really don't know what I'm doing, clearly. whatever. That's fine. It doesn't need to look perfect. It just needs to look somewhat presentable. I know I should probably say this like during streams, but like, you know, if you all want to like ask me questions or something, feel free, you know. I feel like I'm a pretty open book. You can ask me anything, it's fine. Might give us something else to do. That was originally like what the gaming streams were for, and then I played Bloodborne, and it's like, well, I can't really I don't want to be trying to like answer things when I'm playing a game like that. So that was an awful decision, but you know how it is. I'll probably take a break from streaming that game since I just like, I don't know, I don't actually enjoy that game that much. People just wanted me to do it because reasons. I hate this song. I love it so much. How tall am I? I think I'm like 5 foot. I want to say 7. I think I'm average. I don't know. I always thought I was like 5'5", and then like a classmate got really upset at me because they were like, "I'm 5'5" and you're taller than me," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't measure myself often, so I don't know." So probably like 5'7" or something there. Maybe 5'8". I don't know anymore. invert that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Am I skinny? Most people describe me as skinny, yeah. I think I'm like... I think I weigh like 145 pounds at like 5'7". I don't know. I think I look a bit pudgy, but maybe that's just because that's what I'm used to seeing myself as. Because I was real fat as a child. So, and that all went away at a certain point. So, people get mad when I say, like, oh, I'm not skinny, so I guess I'm skinny. Come on. Well, okay. That looks decent. The line connects. That's what matters. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know how this whole like streaming thing is supposed to work, or being like a YouTuber. I mean, obviously. Sometimes I look at my channel and I'm like, wow, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Like, I can't decide what I want this channel to be. That, and I do kind of like sabotage the channel itself by what I upload, so. Because I've seen people go like, oh, I would subscribe for your like card game content, but I don't like the rest of the channel. Or like, oh, why are there card game videos here when I'm here for like gay fur shit? And I'm like, look, I don't know, man. I just wanted to make those. Since like playing card games is important to me, so. It gets real embarrassing when like somebody at my card game locals like goes, "Hey, so I found this YouTube channel. Is this you?" And I have to go like, "Nope." Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, their name is Josh too? That what a coincidence. Cause I try to like keep my online self very far away from how I am in public, so because I just don't want I don't like people asking like the obvious question. I don't know, I've never liked being asked if I'm gay or not. Like, I don't know, that's such like an awkward question. And I get asked it way too much in real life, so I don't know, I guess it just makes me feel uncomfortable, like, oh no. I guess I never liked the way it like fundamentally changes the way that people would see me, I guess. No matter which way I answer. Because I've had people that just like I had a friend a while back who like I had found out that they were only my friend because they really wanted like a gay best friend, and I don't know, that like kind of made me feel a little uncomfortable, like, oh, like is our friendship built on this, just that, like and it felt extra weird because she also like she never asked, she just was like, yeah, okay, whether you are or not, you're gonna fill that void for me. And that would just like, I don't know, made me feel real uncomfortable about our friendship after that. Haven't seen her in like 7 years though, so I guess that solved that eventually. Isn't that weird, right? Yeah, she was just like, I just want a gay best friend, so fill that for me. That, or there was the really weird girl that I met that when did I know? Oh, that's a weird question. I think there was never a moment where I didn't know. Cause there was just always kind of this like, oh, like just men overall just look better than women. But okay. I know that feels weird to say, but yeah, that's just kind of because like even when I was like a kid, I was always like, man, male characters just look better than female characters. But I guess the weird part for me is like I'm like on the asexual spectrum. So it was always me like second guessing whether or not I was gay or not. Cause it's like, oh, like men are hot, but then I don't like the idea of like sex or things being too sexual. Kind of just makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it. That, and I don't really get much out of it anyway, so it's like during those teenage years it was always like, well, am I gay or not? Like, fucking decide. Yeah, that got really weird back in the day, for me at least, like... But I don't know, I guess I got over that eventually. Or at least like a personal variant of it, like I still don't like... I still don't really like talking about it in person. Here it's fine, because you know, it's the internet, we're all a bunch of weirdos, it's fine. But like, I don't know, I find it like just real awkward to talk about it in person, because usually it's like, I always feel like someone has like an ulterior motive, and then usually I find out that they do, and it's like okay. Like in community college, like everyone who asked me whether or not I was gay or not wanted to date me, apparently. I would find that out later, like, because I'm fairly oblivious to people flirting with me. I usually just don't know. Like, I can tell when someone's flirting with somebody else, but I can never tell if someone's flirting with me. Yeah, but usually the people who, like, ask me in person to, like, date me or, like, go on a date or something, it's always, like, my answer is, like, universally no, because usually, like, I don't like the person. Which is probably why, like, I've never dated before. Because no one's really, like, no one's asked me that I cared enough about to try. But I also don't know if I'd, like, you know, there's that, you know, there is that, like, asexuality thing, and that kind of makes me think, like, oh, I'd be a terrible boyfriend just because, like, you know, I'm not into, like, the sex. I almost feel like I'm taking away something from somebody if I decide to date someone who is interested in that. I don't know. I don't know if that's, like, a reasonable thing of me to think, but I guess until I, like, find out a better answer for myself eventually. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm not a professional, even though I tried to train to be for a bit. It's like, what did, like, 2 years of graphic design get me? Nothing, because I can't... I don't know, I was never good at graphic design in class. I mean, you can tell from my thumbnails, but... especially the Digimon ones, since I spend more than, like, I usually spend like a single minute on those rather than the 20 seconds I do on like playthroughs and shit. Yeah, I think it was like, what was it? Like 2 years ago now? There was this real weird girl that I met at like the card game locals that I went to at the time. And I think we had spoken like once prior to this exchange. But she just like went up to me and was like, "So I had a wet dream about you. Do you want to go back to my apartment and have sex tonight?" And I was just like, like what? No. No? Definitely the weirdest encounter I've ever had out in public. Though I didn't appreciate her going around like everyone else in that card community, and because no one there at that card shop knew what my sexuality was. But she had like went around to like everyone there that knew me and was like, "So is he gay? Because he has to be gay if he said no to me." And I'm kind of like okay, that's it's kind of true, but at the same time, like that's kind of really, I don't know how like I don't know what the word is, like airheaded or something. Do you have to be to like conceited? Is that it? Like does this woman need to be to like immediately go like, man not interested in me, must be gay, like I mean, I know like in that instance, she's kind of right, but like I find it really weird that that's like your first thought. Very strange. Yeah, it's so weird. You definitely meet the strangest people out in that community, for sure. Of course, she was like a Yu-Gi-Oh player, right? Like, man, I like dog on the Yu-Gi-Oh community so much, and it's like they like kind of deserve it, but at the same time, like it does feel a bit wrong on occasion too. Because I've met quite a few good friends in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, so like it has that going for it. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. Yeah, introverts are weird. Yeah. I don't know. I used to think that I was an introvert, and until a college classmate was like, "You're not an introvert." And I guess I had to like think about it for a second, go like, I guess that makes sense. Because I'm the kind of person that liked when I would go to my art class, because I knew the teacher didn't give a shit, I would like, because also I was on a first name basis with this teacher, because we actually like knew each other before she was my teacher. uh, so that was kind of funny. We actually like knew each other before that, so we were just already on a first name basis before like classes. uh, and so I would always walk into her class by like kicking the door open and going like, "Yo, what up?" Because I knew how boring her day was usually, because like her classes would never, like most of the time her classes just never were talkative, and she would always talk about how like bored she would be sitting there, like no students talking to her or asking questions. So I would try to liven things up by just barging in. That, and I guess like I never had a filter when at that campus. Like I would just always be saying whatever's on my mind, even if it was like just an insult to someone. It was, I don't know, it was weird. I feel like post high school I was like, I don't care what people think about me anymore. But even like after that I was still like, yeah, I'm an introvert, I don't like talking to people. Proceeds to like talk to everyone in the class. Having the like hobbies that require me to talk to a lot of people. But it's a lot of fun, so. Kind of wish I was like better at talking like here though, because like I don't know, there's something awkward about like talking over the internet, I guess. Though I guess I'm just not used to it, so we'll get there eventually, right guys? Maybe when the channel grows a bit more. I don't know if I want that though. Like I kind of do, but because I kind of think it would be neat to like turn this into something, but because when I first started uploading videos, yeah, it is like just talking to yourself. It's a bit weird. I don't know. I don't think I'm slowly going insane. I think I was there a long time ago. But, yeah. What am I doing? I wasn't supposed to erase that line. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing more of these kind of streams during the week, because I don't know, since starting the channel, I stopped just drawing. It was real weird. Like, the time of day that I normally would use to draw or like paint and stuff, I now use that time to record for videos or edit videos. So I think I'm gonna start doing more of these streams just to kind of like force myself to get back into it, because boy do I feel rusty. I could bear I was trying to do some warm-ups before the stream and I like could not draw a circle for the life of me. I was like, what's happening? Like that was always my normal warm-up, is just like draw a couple circles and then go off drawing, right? Since nearly everything in design stems from circles, it's just like I think it's a nice way to warm up. And yeah, I like could not. I was drawing like squares instead for some reason. Like I would try to draw a circle and then it would come out as a square. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. It's actually been like I want to say since really late July, since I've like really sat down to draw. Which was when I made the portraits for the Digimon videos. And then before that, I don't know, I remember like when I first recorded that very first part of Echo. I had, that's why they had the thumbnail for the Echo video still has like my Twitter avatar as the thumbnail, because I hadn't drawn a new thing yet. And so I was like, after uploading that, I was like, oh man, I really need to like make a new portrait or something. And I did. It just took a bit. And then I didn't do anything after that, so I should I should really get on that. Because, like, right before I started really committing all my spare time, or just all my time, really, to this channel, I was, like, going to make a comic book. And then I'm like, damn, I can't draw backgrounds at a quick enough pace. So I actually, I learned basic Ren'Py, and I was like, maybe I'll just turn my comic idea into a virtual novel, and it'll just be a book. And I had, like, written chapter 1, and was slowly putting it together into Ren'Py, and I started making art assets, and then just stopped. Because that next weekend I recorded Echo, and I was like, we're doing this now. I'm really... Yeah, I recorded Echo, and then, like, the very next day I recorded the first part of Password. And after uploading those, I was kind of like, this is really neat. I'm gonna do this just for, like, a week, probably. And then, like, I haven't stopped. So I'd like to go back to actually doing, like, more art-focused things. So... Okay. I actually really... I don't want to say dislike, but drawing digitally always kind of, like, hurts me a bit. I feel like because I have, like, Control-Z, that I should be using it all the time. So I get really obsessive about lines because of that. And that's just a freedom... I mean, that's just something that I don't think when I'm drawing traditionally. I feel like it's way more free-flowing with traditional art. But I feel like that's just because of the tools at your disposal when you draw digitally. So what I typically do is actually what I'm doing right now, and that's I will have drawn the thing in, like, a sketchbook first, and then just, like, draw digitally over it. And it works okay, I guess. It typically still has a bunch of, like, proportion issues and things, because, you know, I'm not paying attention to that when I'm drawing traditionally. So usually, like, I'll... once I put it in digitally, I'll, like, invert it and go, like, oh, that perspective's wonky. I don't know how to draw. But... I don't know, I think this one turned out okay. Like, yes, this shoulder and some of, like, Leo's body's kind of fucked, but... You know, I guess as long as I recognize it and, like... I try not to make those same mistakes going forward. That's usually what I think, like... Wow, I, like, was talking, and then I, like, spaced out for a second, and I was like, am I drawing? Like... Not the smartest person. That's for sure. You can tell from my math scores back in school. Well, wait, sorry, hi June, it's nice to see you. And, I've been streaming for about 2 hours. So, I guess you missed a lot, but also not at all, because I wasn't talking for like an hour. Because, like, I don't know. No one was in chat for a while, so just kind of sat there and did nothing. But, well, I was drawing, right? So that's kind of all I was doing. But yeah, how are you, June? And I told Born this earlier, but like, I'm pretty open for the evening, so like if you want to ask questions, chat. I have a lot more, I'm not playing a video game, so I can do that. I can interact a bit more with you guys. Which is kind of what I want. Like, I feel like it would be a bit weird if I like didn't acknowledge all of you people. Which I remember being told that by somebody. They were like, don't like talk too much to your like your subscriber base. And I'm like, that sounds weird, but I'm not gonna do that. I want to talk to them. I'm doing pretty well, actually. Like, got to like hang out with family over the weekend, so that was cool. Because despite living in the same town as my sister still, we do not see each other. Our schedules do not line up. She works like 12-hour days in another town, so she's always busy. And when she isn't, she's hanging out. She wants to be there to spend time with her fiance. So, and I don't think ill of her for that. Like, that makes so much sense. Gotta have that anchor bracelet, I can dream, right? That that Leo and Chase got to stay together. Not because I want them to stay together, but so I can project. Circles digitally are apparently just my worst enemy. Like, I'm usually okay drawing them traditionally, but on like a drawing pad, I don't know what I'm doing. Just don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Leo's route's just it's so good, right? Like, I know that like that's heavy bias on my part, cuz like, Leo just makes me happy. Would I date someone like Leo in real life? Probably. I don't know, if someone made me like that happy in real life, damn, I'd probably just ask them out. But I've yet to meet someone like that, so single gang for life. I mean, Kudzu is good. Kudzu is good. But as for the depression bit, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's depressing. But I don't think that doesn't mean I can't be happy hanging out with those characters. Yeah. Because I like pretty much everyone in that game. I guess the only one I actively don't really like is Julian. And that's mainly, I just don't really like his design that much, so it makes me not like his character. But that feels like a bias on my part. I mean, I am just biased for liking Leo, but it's, you know, it's it's fine. Come on. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Julian, I think. It's just like he's there to be there. I guess that's one thing that like the Smoke Room really has going for it, is it feels like every character matters. Like even all of the side characters. Cuz who doesn't love Todd? Like everyone loves him, right? He's definitely my favorite side character in that game. And like in the latest update with Nikolai, I actually really like Ben. Like he's a piece of shit, but you know. Maybe I just have terrible taste in men. That's definitely not out of the question, but I was holding the space bar, it's fine. I don't know, I just think like Ben's just a really funny character. So I think that's why I like when he's in scenes. I definitely don't like I wouldn't date the man, that's for sure, but I like him as a character just to be around. Like he's definitely entertaining. Yeah, because it's isn't like the rotation kind of like it's William, Clifford, Murdoch, and Ben? Not Ben, Nikolai. I mean, Yao's really cool. Yeah, he's and just jerk off your friend, it's fine. It's oh, Ben Route would be so weird though. Though if a side character did get a route, I would want it to be Todd. Because Todd is cute, so... oh, there we go. Yeah... Yeah, they kinda... Oh, that's the rotation? Okay. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the sex scenes, but that's just like, that's a me thing. I don't hold it against the game at all. Because I just know that I know I'm in the minority of not caring about that kind of stuff, but I know that it is for like a lot of people like that sort of thing, and I'm not gonna like take that away from them. I can just deal with it. That's probably why I like Nikolai so much, is you inherently have a less sexual relationship with him. And I think that's why, like I love Clifford, I think he's super cute, but it's almost like he's a bit too horny for me. Yeah, when they're just walking sex objects, I'm like, come on, guys. Like, please write them as characters first. I almost think, like, some of, like, the like Japanese gay VNs are really bad about that. For like, well, they're not gay. You typically play as like the otome games where you play as a girl and you're trying to go after your man. Like they are just walking sex objects, and I'm like, what? They're somehow they have less character than like the generic dating sims that people complain about. Okay. I don't know why it took me so long to get to this shoulder over here, but we'll get there. Yeah, I feel that. Like, I've quit so many. But I've never, like, before, Echo, I had never tried out any of the ones on, like, God, how's that website pronounced? Ichto? Or whatever. Like, I had only ever played, like, more officially released VNs. Like your Neko Gishi or Knights College. So that was like, how about Far Beyond the World? I haven't played that one yet, actually. Pretty much everything I've played is on the channel. The only game I've played prior to that was Moriyanatsu, because reasons. It's like, whoops, found that as a teenager, and I don't know if that was a good thing or not. Yeah, June, you've recommended Tennis Ace before. I'm a little keen on trying it, since you recommended it. Because I have it downloaded now. It's sitting in the folder with all the other games. I just don't know when I'm going to have time in the schedule to play it. Because I want to, Oh, it's long? Like... I guess that's not a bad thing. Like, more content is more content. Because I think that password is long. Like, Jesus. Because I don't know... I guess once I'll be able to finish up Limits pretty easily, since there's only, like, so little of that game out. And same with... I don't know if I'll do all the routes available currently in Socially Awkward. So maybe in, like... maybe in a couple weeks, I'll be able to start Tennis Ace. Pants and legs? I don't know what to do. Yeah, I hope I'll like it. I've liked a bunch of the games I've tried out. I guess I got to the point where I'm like, man, why trust, like, a big developer when I can just play a user-made game? Or I guess in... especially when it comes to, like, gay shit, right? Like, feel like the main part of the industry just can't do it. So you might as well look for people who can. Man, I just don't know how to do pants. That's fine. How's it? No, it looks okay. Turn back that one, yeah. Okay. And we'll... And actually, I'm going to do that. Oh, thank you for the compliment. I think I get by. I guess, like, I always had a bad habit of, like, comparing myself to my peers. Come on. Because I guess when you, like... Because this is what I studied at the community college I went to, was just, like, art and design. So I guess I always had a bad habit of going like, damn, I'm not gonna make it in this industry with my skill level. But I do like drawing, so... I'm gonna try to do this more often to get myself back into drawing again. Because I accidentally let that slip when I started doing more on this channel. I stopped just like casually drawing, which is very bad for like one's skill level, I guess. Because it's like, oh, you almost have to like retrain your hand to like you have to relearn all that muscle memory for drawing. And it's worse for me because I don't even... I never did a lot of digital art. I almost always did everything traditionally. But... Gotta learn how to do this right. It's the modern age. I have to learn how to... You draw with this tablet. There we go. Yeah. Oh. Thought the music broke for a second. I can't wait to get copyright claims. Yeah. Like, I think in some ways it's healthy to compare. Or maybe I just keep telling myself that to make me feel better, but I feel like that's just like an emotional hump that an artist needs to get over. Because I always thought it was weird when people would be like, comparing their work to mine and being... Because there was one of my friends, she does really nice realism, and she would always tell me how jealous she was of the way that I draw, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you do realism really well, and that will like carry you in this industry. Yeah, maybe inspires a bit better, but yeah, I thought that was kind of like really weird of her to like say, because it's like my art looks significantly less polished than hers, but she would always say like, oh, but your artwork looks a bit more free, like free flowing, with a lot more personality to it, because all she ever studied was realism. And I guess there's always the grass looks greener, right? Like all I ever do is like toony looking shit. I like to do nice rounded edges. Okay. Yeah, everyone kind of does. I do think like if you want to do art professionally, you do kind of have to learn how to use other people's art styles, because you know you'll be working for people, and I realized real quickly that I cannot do that. So that always kind of like discourages me from like trying to get more of a job in this field, but you know, maybe I can. You know, we live in 2021. I don't have to get like a super traditional art job, I guess. Uh, but I never know how to draw like the crotch area, because I don't stare there enough, I guess. Hmm. That's one thing that I noticed learning how to draw, is like you end up looking at things to try to like oh, well, thank you, June. I don't think I'll be doing commissions anytime too soon. I don't think I'm quite there yet to be charging people for my work, but maybe one day. Huh. Are all the lines closed? No. Okay. Like, that does mean a lot that you would say that, but don't think I'm quite there yet. Yeah, Ian, I know what you mean. Sometimes I look at some artists and I'm like, what? With the size of the dicks they do sometimes, with the bulge, and I'm just like, come on. Though I guess. Oh, what? Where's the. Chase, where's there a hole in your. Okay. That's where that is. Yeah. There we go. Boop. What? Whoops. Well, that's not gonna... Yeah, I tend to try to do really flat crotch areas just because, like, I don't know, I feel like it gets real awkward. At least for me. Let's... Yeah, that looks alright. Yeah, I like when things are more human proportioned, but I tend to draw a bit more, like, rounded, so things can look a bit bulky. Yeah. Let's, JPEG? No. We're in the world of PNGs now. There. I'll probably leave it that way. I'm really bad about using color, so I typically just don't. There, it only took me like 3 hours to do this. Yeah, I'll try to do this more often to force myself to draw more. Move the mouse out of the way real quick. Just I've been hunched over for 2 hours. That that just kills my back. What the hell? Yeah. No worries, June. No worries. I'll try to do this more often. Try to actually get a bit better at drawing. Gotta force myself, right? Practice makes someone better, so we'll get there. Though I don't know if because I don't want to like promise daily streams because that's not happening. But definitely the art streams won't be scheduled. They'll just pop up when I'm like, I need to do this. I'll still do my normal Friday night gaming streams. And I've also done it Wednesdays, so I don't know if I've done it some Wednesdays to do a gaming stream on both. So yeah, I'm thinking of trying to do like a gaming stream on both Wednesday and Friday. See if that pleases the algorithm a bit. I know I shouldn't be chasing that, but sometimes I feel like I should. I don't want to turn off the stream yet, so I'll probably like be around for another 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, if you just want to ask me something, start up a topic that you want me to like do things with, I don't know. Finally ran out of my drink. Okay. You'd be down for whatever? Yeah. That's, I I don't know. I almost think that's a scary thought, but giving me endless possibilities, like I think that's why I like to put up polls on my Twitter is to try to like gauge what people want. But I know for a lot of people, it just they're because I know my friends are always just like, do what you want on the channel, like whatever. But you know, I want the I want the input from the people that's watching, right? I feel like that's reasonable of me to gauge. Though I wish I could do those polls on YouTube, but apparently you need like 1,000 subscribers to get a community tab on your account. That kind of sucks. So I won't be getting there for quite some time. So Twitter will just have to do for that kind of yeah, for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was like, because originally I was like, oh, I'll just put up a poll on YouTube. Because I know that people can do that. And I like checked my account and was like, isn't the community tab normally here? Oh, a discussion about FromSoft lore. I don't. I mean, those are fun, but I feel like I'm not too big. Like I was really big in the Dark Souls, the first one, and I got pretty into like, oh, what's the cool history of the land and shit like that. But I don't know, I never got actually into Bloodborne's lore. It feels a bit weird, because you think that I would be, but... Oh, I have the wrong color. That's why that's doing that. Okay. I'm not that dumb. Yes, I am. William would definitely call me stupid, and I'd be okay with that because it's William. Let's... That looks a bit better. What, discussing the lore requires too much thinking? I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but... Then again, I'm a person that, like, occasionally reads One Piece for the world building. So maybe I'm just okay with the really bloated... like, whatever. Oh, do you mean, June, do you mean, like, the card game? Or, like, just kind of, in general? If you're talking about the card game, I actually really like the, energy resource in Digimon. Which is called the memory gauge. And you'll probably have to look it up to understand how it works. Because it's very different from how other card games do their energy or mana systems. But essentially, like, the turn player decides how much mana the opponent will get on their turn. So there's a lot of really interesting counterplay that you can do with that with the memory system, where every turn you kind of have to decide how much energy do I want to give my opponent. And you kind of have to figure out, like, and I guess every matchup is going to be different, but it's a really fun back and forth for the Digimon TCG right now. That's kind of what I like about it anyway. That and I just, I'm a weirdo and I've always really liked Digimon. Though not the English dub. That's not good. Let's get that out of the way. That English dub's not. Uh, it is a lot of work in Digimon. I think a lot of people were surprised how skill intensive the new Digimon card game is, because I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it'll probably be on like the same level as Pokemon, where like there's a lot of interesting counterplay, but it's not like the most." And it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like the skill is can you roll the higher number for your dice roll to choose who goes first or second. In Digimon, it's a lot of really intricate and small uses of your energy, or really large uses of your energy to disrupt the opponent in various ways. But due to that system, it's very flexible, and thus there's a lot of like player expression, I guess, that comes from it. So that's what I really like about the Digimon TCG currently. And I'm a casual only playing Hearthstone. I never got into Hearthstone, actually. Like, people always talked about it, so I thought about playing it, but never really got around to that. I mean, that's still the nice thing about Pokemon, is that it is like it's very user friendly. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but in like a really positive way. Like it's a really nice game to pick up and play. But my deck is out of rotation now, so I can't. I have to pick up a new Pokemon deck. Well, the main Pokemon that I use are in rotation, but like my entire trainer and supporter lineup is like gone for the most part, because I was playing Orbeetle VMAX for last year, so. And what Birdkeeper is rotated, and that kind of like really helps that deck. So the Digimon card game started in March 2020 in Japan. It came over to America in January 2021. So it's fairly recent. Though, because of scalping issues, it's not like the easiest game to get into right now. Which it really sucks, because it's like, man, Digimon, it's so hard for that brand to exist in America, that having that scalping issue, making it so that like potential new players now can't even try the game, that really sucks. Yeah, Digimon has the misfortune of their card games, all of their previous card games not lasting. For various reasons. Because the original Hyper Coliseum card game just did really poorly in the English market. And it kept going in the Japanese side for a while, but um I wouldn't say that the Digimon and Pokemon card games are similar. No. I think the Digimon card game is more similar to Duel Masters, if you remember that card game. Because it has the shield mechanic from that game, and it has a lot of the same, like, how summoning sickness works, and it has the same general, like, flow to the gameplay. Because in Digimon doesn't have that restriction that Pokemon has, where you can only evolve on a Pokemon once per turn. In Digimon, it's an energy based, I say energy, a mana based system. So you can evolve until you run out of your mana for that turn. So it's a more fluid kind of playstyle. And Digimon actually have two different costs to them, because you can either evolve into a Digimon or you can hard play it from your hand, and that'll kind of change. They have different benefits and drawbacks to either evolving or hard playing a Digimon. So there's a lot of like really intricate decision making that happens in that game that I actually really like, but I know it's not for everyone. That's for sure. Hmm. Uh, no, I want to resave that copy. Yes. There, looks a little bit better still. Yeah, I know that the TCG talk on the channel isn't the most like exhilarating thing in the world, but yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, Pokemon has it has a really weird difficulty curve, because I feel like the rules of Pokemon are really simple, but actually like being good at playing the game takes a fair bit of effort. And I kind of think like Yu-Gi-Oh is the opposite. Where like learning the rules to Yu-Gi-Oh is like a nightmare, but then as soon as you learn it, there's nothing like you're gonna be the best player in the room, like instantly. Though Digimon is not the case with that. It is very much a very skill intensive card game. Like I want to put shading, but like, yeah, I probably have to do it pretty light. Yeah, I never know how much like I should talk about card games on the channel. Because that is my main hobby, but I don't know, it feels weird to have like to be releasing like, hey, we're gonna talk about the latest set in Digimon, and have that come out an hour apart from like Echo. Because I know there are people that are like, I know that I do have followers that are there specifically for the card game content, and I feel so bad for them. Just because it's like I produce so little of it. Yeah, it's I keep hearing that for Hearthstone, and that kind of keeps me away from trying to play it because I usually try to play card games that are a bit more skill based, which is really funny because I also play Vanguard, but the card game videos do get the most views, but usually like those people don't stick around on the channel. Cuz I'll like look at the analytics for those videos, and it'll usually be like 95% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed to you. And I'm like, okay. So they get lots of like one-off views, but they're not they don't attract people to the channel. And I assume the main reason is like if you watch a Digimon video and then you go to that person's channel and it's all gay furry VNs, that's probably a weird thing. But I'm also like, but why can't I do both? Cause yeah, one of my Digimon videos now has like 400 views, and that's exciting. But that video also no longer gets traction because it's out of date, and I made an updated version of that video. So yeah, I mean, I know I should like get used to yeah, and I will. Like it's not the most discouraging thing in the world. It's just more like, oh, it's noticeable. Cuz when I first started this happens a lot on Twitter actually. Where I'll get a follower because of, you know, furry shit, and then that person will then unfollow me once I start talking about card games. And then sometimes I'll get a follower for like who's clearly a card game account, and then they'll unfollow me as soon as I start tweeting about like furry stuff, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I know I have like a handful of friends that will like only watch the Digimon videos and then like hard ignore the playthrough stuff. And I know that's something that I have to get over. Like I should just be like, you know, make the content I want. Cuz I was writing a video for oh, why am I blanking on the name? For Hulk. Uh the Marvel character, because I actually read those comics because I'm a weirdo, right? And that was actually like my favorite comic for like the past couple years is the current run on Hulk. And it's ending next month. And that was kind of like this I kind of sat there and went like, wow, I've been reading this for like 2 years now. Not even, no, for a year, but it's been I was reading Hulk for a bit before that, but then I started reading the new run last year. And I kind of wanted to like make a video talking about that, just because it's like I feel like that was a really big loss that we're losing that comic. Because they're retooling the Hulk comics to match the MCU. And that kind of saddens me a lot, because it's like, as a comic book reader, I kind of want my comics to stay how they are in the comics, not in the movies, because I don't really watch the movies. So I kind of wanted to make like a video, not dissing the MCU and not dissing the new comic, but just kind of like, I guess more of like a thank you to that run on Hulk, which is called Immortal Hulk, because it's actually a horror comic, which is weird. But you know, a horror take on the Incredible Hulk was like, it was so much fun to read. And then it turns into a hard character drama later on. And I'm just like, I'm here for it. So it kind of feels bad that like that's going away. So I wanted to like pump out a video to talk about that, and I don't know if I'll be able to actually do that. I don't know. I feel like as like the weeks get closer to the final issue, I get less motivated to try to make that video. Yeah, in specifically Immortal Hulk, like that run for Hulk is actually a horror comic. And it's very good. I loved that comic. I don't think it's for everyone because it's very comic booky, but and it's Hulk is weird because Hulk in the comics doesn't match any like adaptation of Hulk. So it's always like, I am almost surprised they didn't go with a look, there's been existential horror with Hulk before, but like Immortal Hulk was more of a typical horror thing for a bit. Not for a while. But it kind of gets really more emotional later on. But I liked that too. Because I'm a big fan of the cast of Hulk, so seeing them all come back and being very broken people, like, it's sad, but it matches them perfectly. And now they're going away again, which kind of sucks because they're not in the movies. I mean, that's understandable, June. No worries about it. Like, I got into reading comic books as like a young teen, so kind of just stuck with them ever since. Well, I say I stuck with them, but that's not entirely true. I've gotten in and out of that community off and on throughout the years. No, I understand what you mean. Like, specifically DC and Marvel Comics, like it's an acquired thing. Especially with how different like the comics are to the movies now. Well, were. Now they're just canceling comics that don't actually line up with the movies, and that depresses me, but because I'm that weirdo whose favorite comic book is the Fantastic Four. Like, I love that comic so much. Those characters mean so much to me. But, like, you know, the movies exist, so people think that the comics are going to be like the movies, and that kind of sucks. Like, it's hard to tell people, like, oh, I'm a Fantastic Four fan, because they'll immediately think of the movies and go, like, what? Those are terrible. And it's like, yeah, I know. That last movie was so bad they canceled the comic, and that, like, depressed me for 2 years. Like, 2 full years. I stopped reading comics when that happened. That's kind of weird. I'm actually, like, not reading any manga right now. I've actually just been reading comic books again. I say that, but, like, just Fantastic Four and Hulk, but, you know. I'm divorced from DC Comics now, so. Oh, okay. I've never read Fables. I kept hearing a lot of good things about it, but at the time I just didn't have the money to be like trying out those comics when I'm like, oh, but I gotta pick up the new Green Lantern Corps comic. Because I used to be so big on Green Lantern, and then Green Lantern stopped being good. I blame the movie, but no, actually the movie didn't actually harm the brand, surprisingly enough. That was when it was actually just more DC like fucking over the Green Lantern comics that fucked over Green Lantern. Kind of sucked. But I've read a lot of older manga actually. I'm a weird boomer when it comes to that. Because earlier this year, I just kind of sat down and then read Getter Robo, like the old 70s manga. I don't know, I'm weird. Had a great time though. Like that manga's real fun, but it's very old, so I don't know if I can recommend that to people. And modern manga feels a bit too, I don't know, trying too hard to be the most marketable thing on the block. Like I can't read Shonen Jump anymore. What's that? Do you mean Getter? Getter Robo? It's an old mecha manga from the 70s. It was actually the manga that popularized the combining robot gimmick. Like that was kind of like the first manga to really do that. Yeah, it's old. But I find that I really like those older manga. Like the last manga that I read that I really loved was Planet With, and that was back in 2016. So it's been a hot minute since I've like really gotten to read a modern manga that I've loved. But it happens, right? Not everything can be great. I did read Beastars for a while. And then they introduced stand battles, and I was kind of like, not a fan of that. If I wanted that, I'd be reading JoJo, which I did, but you know, that's a whole different thing. Part 4, best part. I never did read Part 7, and I know a lot of people are like, Part 7 is the best part of JoJo, and I'm like, I am lazy. Like, I accidentally made the mistake of reading, like, parts 3, 4, 5, and 6 all in the same month. So once I did that, I was burnt out, and I didn't feel like reading Part 7, and I never went back. I probably should. Especially now that Part 8 finally finished, so... I'm going to... save another PNG of that. There we go. But I love my stupid Scooby-Doo mystery. No, I get why people like Part 5. I'm just, I think I liked the more comedic, like, episodic feel of Part 4. But, you know. I like all of JoJo that I've read. I at least like it. I may not always think it's good, because Part 1 feels rough. But, yeah. And I haven't watched the anime in a while. I didn't watch the part 7. Yeah, it really is that vibe of part 4 that always has me coming back. Like, it's fun. I kind of wish that, like, more parts were like that. Yeah, I like every chapter of part 1 with Dio in it, but like the rest of the part, like, I'm like, eh. Like that mini arc with those other vampire hunters, I always like glaze over. I like that. That one doesn't quite get to me very well. Oh, it's like 12:30. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream now. Thank you for coming, everyone. So, I'll try to do this more often because I do enjoy doing this, and like I enjoy talking to you all. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to see you around soon.